We must therefore go into a national lockdown, which is tough.
Okay, thanks for that, Boris. Well, I'm going to challenge myself to see if I can make a working game for mobile before this lockdown's over. The fun part is you don't know when it's going to be over, when lockdown's going to be over, so I don't know how long I've got to work on this game. But I'll be using a previous idea I've used in the initial lockdown 1, where I'm going to be making a endless runner, where you play as a character that's travelling through time, and each level progresses through an era in time. The one key feature I want to add into my game was a fisheye lens for the view of the actual gameplay. I think I haven't seen many games with fisheye lenses before, probably because it's a bit of a weird one to use, but I think it'd be really fun to experiment with a different sort of camera to use for the actual gameplay. I also had an idea of having half the screen be used as a button for attack and then half for the jump button. So this challenge I've set for myself, essentially I have to create a game within the time limit of lockdown. My aim is essentially to create a game jam for myself in the same way as I've done before previously. But what is a game jam, I hear you say? Well, a game jam is basically a event where you can create games within a time limit, and normally they're really short, so you can have 24-hour game jams, 48-hour game jams, and you have to try and figure out how you can create a project to a set theme within that time limit. And the end goal is to publish that game and release it for people to play. And without knowing the time limit, it'll be quite fun to see how much I scope not knowing a deadline. So not doing too much work for myself before the cut-off point that I don't know when, which will be, exciting. So at the game's initial state, right now, from where I left it off from June back in 2020, it's running on the oh my god, the brightness. So here's a snippet of one of the levels. This is the space level, and as you can see, the player character looks very alien to this environment. Doesn't belong there. This is because he's traveled through time. As you can see, I've got enemies so far in the game. They don't do anything yet, and I've got collectibles that are in the time crystals, or the gems that you collect. This is all a personal project, so it's all solo developed by me, music-wise as well. So I just hope that come next week I can have some more to show you. So here is the game in its very basic state when I first originally created it, and I made these blocks that you could jump on, some bounce pads that allowed you to travel higher in the air, and essentially with this concept and how it works in the actual game engine, when the platforms go off the screen, they actually get deleted, and the next one's randomly selected and placed in front of you. So essentially it is endless. So I was surprised coming back to the project after more or less half a year of not going onto it, that I actually created a cutscene that was very, very basic and didn't really look like it was put together very well or anything like that, but it was just quite nice to see what I was working on. I completely forgot that I did that, so I'll show that to you now. So essentially, this was my original concept for a cutscene. I did touch it up before putting it here. This is definitely a more improved version of what I originally had, but I feel like it shows off a little bit of some of the levels and how the game potentially might look in the future. It means I could potentially have cutscenes within the game. That is the end goal. I'd love to have cutscenes, so that'd be great. I can piece together where I had the ideas of some of the levels. When it comes to making the levels itself, the backgrounds of the levels are made in Magical Voxel, which is a 3D voxel based 3D software. So it's like you can make environments in almost like 3D pixel art in the background, and I've used sprite work as well, using this app called Pixaki on my iPad, which is good. So that is where I'm at so far. So hopefully come next week I'll have a lot more to show for my project. If you want to keep up to date, subscribe to the channel. You could follow my Instagram where I post more or less daily, and yeah, I shall see you next week.